What a time to be alive here in Saudi, here in Riyadh. Us like musicians finally get the push and the platforms that we always wanted to have. I'm so proud to be here. I'm so proud to be Saudi. I'm so proud to be doing this as well.
I'm proud to be part of the evolution and just watching it go from 2018 to where it is now, here where we are. It's just incredible.
I'm so proud to see something, a talent that is thriving locally, and I also see tremendous international appeal as well.
The artist feels, they feel when it's real, when it's people are just trying to make it I truly believe it. If it comes from you as a person, it will go far.
It's a trial and error type of thing. And it depends on the mood, the atmosphere, and it's your job to create that atmosphere for people. But if you've got one thing in your mind and they want something else, you've got to read them. You have to react.
I think having that strong sense of identity is what will kind of differentiate us from anywhere else in the world. Hi everyone, welcome to Gems of Arabia. Gems of Arabia is where we shed light on the hidden and the shimmering gems. I am honored and delighted to present to you today these two incredible creative artists. One is DJ Viva, and the second is an incredible singer, Aziz. All from Riyadh at Middle Beast. Yes, guys, we are at Middle Beast. This is one of the staples of music industry. We're talking about bringing all the incredible artists under one roof, basically. So stay tuned, and really happy to show you this incredible collaboration that we're having in partnership with Harrods. Welcome to Gems of Arabia. Hello, DJ Viva and Aziz. It's a pleasure to have you with us today in Riyadh. I'm thrilled to see so much progress happening in Saudi Arabia. Middle Beast could not be more indicative of all the great new things that are happening, the spring of incredible artists that are coming together. Obviously, this is the partnership that I have with Harrods. I'm honored to be part of this community now that we are creating. We started with art and fashion, and now with the music. So starting with DJ Viva, tell us, I know that you've dabbled in quite a few events and been quite involved in the music industry. You also have a specific sport that you pursue while you're doing your music. Tell us more about how it started, the DJing process.
The DJing process began to evolve around 2018 when the music industry in Saudi Arabia began opening up. And I've always had a passion for music. Everyone loves music. But specifically here, I don't know, I'm proud to be part of the evolution, and just watching it go from 2018 to where it is now, here where we are. It's just incredible.
You were mentioning that even as one of the pioneers in Saudi when it comes to DJing as well, we've come a long way. Do we have more tools now? Do we have more abilities? Tell us more about what Middle Beast has done to enable and to empower, especially the DJs.
Middle Beast has basically taken us from I don't know. They've taken us to the moon when it comes to music and music festivals, and providing a creative outlet for musicians and DJs. They've given us a lot of tools, a lot of resources, such as XP, the music conferences, and there's a lot going on. There's the record label, which I'm part of as well, and there's different segments to the record label for all different types of music artists and different genres of music. And throughout the year, you'll see that Middle Beast is involved in almost every big event now in Saudi Arabia, from the World Cup, which is in Qatar, not Saudi Arabia. And recently they've been out to ADE in Amsterdam.
And Jeddah as well.
And now, coming up, we have Jeddah as well. As well as the F1. They were, a huge part of that as well.
Fantastic.
And I'm extremely happy to be part of it all.
Yeah, I salute you. Someone else who I also salute tremendously is Aziz. Your sound is really authentic and your voice is really unique. I've really taken mashallah, liking to it, and so proud to see something, a talent that is thriving locally, and I also see tremendous international appeal as well. How did your journey into music start? Give us a little bit of a...
Thank you so much. Well, first of all, it started when I moved to the UK. Well, before moving to the UK, I felt like I had a lot of interest in music here back in Saudi. Me and my cousins just started a band just to be involved in music. Then we left it alone, but I always knew at a young age I had something to do with music. But when I went to the UK, I found my sound over there. I've been doing music since 2015, 14. But I found my sound and I knew what I wanted to do. That's why when I released my song and my first tracks in 2020, let's say. But yeah, as you mentioned before, what a time to be alive here in Saudi, here in Riyadh. Us like musicians finally get the push and the platforms that we always wanted to have, which is amazing. Like from Soundstorm, Middle Beast, and starting with XP, Music Futures, with the music conferences and giving a platform for each type of musicians, each type of genre as well, which I find amazing. And yeah, I'm so proud to be here. I'm so proud to be Saudi. I'm so proud to be doing this as well.
What advice do you have for up-and-coming musicians that want to pursue and participate and follow your footsteps and be part of Middle Beast? What is the process?
Just keep going. Like me personally, I'm an independent artist, but I get support from Middle Beast as well, from the people around me as well. But yeah, just do you, keep doing what you want to do. Never give up. Because if you do, you never know where you would be like if you haven't. So I'm just saying, keep going. Do you, find your sound, and just keep going. Yeah.
We had a previous conversation, and what resonated with me is that you studied music before this happened, before the Middle East, the movement of creative springs coming together, and Saudi opening up to music even more. That took a lot of ambition and optimism. To tell us more about how you managed to study a topic that wasn't maybe so much in demand when you started.
Well, it wasn't my main thing studying back in London, but because I had the interest towards it, it was something I would like to do on the side as well.
Yeah.
But with that, it made me realize how important figuring out each culture's, because each culture brings a sound to the table.
Yeah.
And when it comes to me, because I used to live in London, I bridged the sound of the UK sound with our sound here in the Middle East, with the tabla and with the oud and everything, try to make my own unique type of sound, my own music fusion, if that makes sense.
That makes perfect sense. And you brought us to our next question and the main topic of this conversation, and the ethos that we have with Harrods, which is generational bridges,
yeah,
and cultural bridges.
Yeah.
Moving on to, we'll get back to you on this for sure. Moving on to DJ Viva. Do you see a more reiterated generational bridge happening with music now more than ever? And for me, I find that the younger generation are so much more entranced with older generation music, and they love to kind of like mix it, whether it's fashion, whether it's general cultural values that are kind of being reinstalled back into our culture.
For sure, recently, especially the last 2 years or so, we've seen a lot of musical fusion, like from the previous years, a lot of remixes from the 70s, 80s. Right now we're seeing the whole synthwave revolution with a lot of the top DJs happening. And even new and up and coming artists have that sound of the 80s, And it's amazing. And, even with my music, I try to incorporate it as well. And I play a lot of, and I'm surprised recently, a lot of the events that are being organized are asking for that genre of music.
Yes.
They want the 80s or the 70s remixes, Bonnie M and all of that stuff. And it's really cool. It creates a nice atmosphere, but also a reminiscent type of sound, And as you mentioned, everyone loves it. The young, the old now. And also with DJs, and especially me and a lot of DJs, fusion is our thing, We love to fuse sounds, whether it's with the Arabic sounds or the sounds of the past. We love it, and it creates a uniqueness to our sound.
Okay. Absolutely. Aziz, as a student in the UK, do you feel like when you would introduce local references of Arabic music or Arabic beats into Western culture, what would be the initial reaction at that time, and how would you compare that reaction earlier on to now?
Well, it depends on how am I going to portray it. Let's say I'll portray it like simply being a Middle Eastern sound. They would like it because it's different, but they wouldn't go home and listen to it, you know what I mean? But if I portray it for them with a fusion of their sound and our sound together, they would love it. They were like, oh, this is different. This is actually different. I would like to listen to this sound. I would like to listen to more of this. And we're trying to, me and my peers, my group that we work, me and Tidal, Soji, and people.
All of those are very established, very well respected artists
here in Riyadh, and they're helping me along the way, like extremely. Like I'm so thankful for them. But yeah, we've been trying to find this Riyadh sound, as they call it, and we're still on that journey, but we're getting there. We're getting there, but yeah, they love different stuff. They love different stuff. Like
I like that Riyadh sound because, like we had discussed earlier on, you know, like it's important to have a name for a genre that we can start identifying as our genre of music that is part of our culture, and I think it will resonate even more like internationally, because once we have our kind of DNA and our identity, cultural identity kind of ingrained, that we're able to kind of identify what we are, whatever it is, whether it's music, fashion, or anything. I think having that strong sense of identity is what will kind of differentiate us from anywhere else in the world. Moving on to the DJ Viva, is it important for you to have music that is actually relevant when you create your music, or do you just focus on what you like?
I am the DJ who, I don't know, but I've been asked this question like many times before. But for me, relating to my audience and connecting with the people around me, wherever I am in the world, is really, really important. So even the music that I produce, I always fuse elements of the oud and the Arabic vibes into it, whether it's techno or house or EDM. I try to, make it more relatable and enjoyable for the people around me. And that applies to the music I produce as well as the music I play. And I think that's important, as artists, and I'm sure you could relate as well, you have to have that connection with people, because in the end, our music we are creatively outputting something. And we're connecting with the world, and we're putting something from within us out for other people to enjoy.
The process of DJing, I can imagine it must be quite a process, but clearly you pick up on the crowd and how they feel, and then you kind of move on based on that, right? Or do you think that you could create your own kind? You want to bring in a different kind of sound, and then they kind of follow. What's the process? I'm still kind of confused about how the creative process happens.
It's a creative process, and sometimes as a DJ you have something planned in your mind, and you're going in with your set.
Yeah.
But a lot of the times it's a trial and error type of thing, and it depends on the mood, the atmosphere, and it's your job to create that atmosphere for people. But if you've got one thing in your mind and they want something else, you've got to read them. You have to react. A lot of times I've gone, onto a set like the Red Sea Film Festival last year. I went in with one type of vibe that I wanted to play. For the first two tracks, they're not they're not moving. They're chilling on the floor. I switched it up, and they it went from 0 to 100 within a couple of minutes. And that is the power of DJs, to be able to control a room, to control people, to control the dance floor. And we love that.
If anything, music is
it's
actually a universal language, really. Okay, there are cultural, traits of certain songs, but what makes someone feel or what impacts you, it could be by any culture. It doesn't have a language, actually. What do you think about that?
Well, the creative process technically it intertwines a little bit with my creative process and DJing creative process. Like us vocalists, I always say, if it doesn't come from the heart, it won't make it. You know what I mean? Because when I write lyrics, music, always it's my day-to-day life, past experiences and stuff like that. And I feel like if I made it just like that, as a mainstream sound, I feel like it won't make it as far if it comes from my heart. You know what I mean? If it comes from my past experience, because the audience feels, they feel it. You know what I mean? yeah, they feel when it's real, when it's people are just trying to make it just for the mainstream purposes and stuff like that. But I truly believe that if it comes from you as a person, it will go far. That's what I truly believe in.
And what would you like to see more of at Middle East, or what is like an area that hasn't been focused on, or whether it's specific beat, specific genre of music?
Well, they're covering it, but I just like I want more vocalists. I want to see more vocalists, even though there are a few, but I want to see more.
Any
Locally.
specific vocalists, local vocalists
locals.
that you can name that you would like to
me, myself, Cali B, Rayan, Finest, Z Music, like R&B genre, the R&B subgenre as well. Like I feel like they deserve to be on stage as well. Like you know what I mean? Like they would kill it because I've seen them perform, and I know I would kill it as well.
We have no doubt that you would.
But yeah,
no doubt.
But yeah.
What about you, DJ Viva? What do you think? What would you like to see more of?
I'd like to see more artist collaborations.
Yeah,
and I truly believe in that Robert Greene quotation that says the future belongs to those who learn new skills and combine them. So I think fusions are a great thing, and combining a DJ with a great vocalist or a great artist such as Aziz, I think great. Great things can happen on a stage. Yeah.
Big facts.
And just the impact of people, the amount of people that come, and the energy, it's contagious. It's really quite impressive. I mean, coming from a Jeddah boy who's been coming back and forth to Saudi Arabia. I've had my own retail now for 18 years, and I can't even imagine. I never even dreamt of what's happening now. So what's next for Aziz?
Well, I'm just gonna keep on working hard, and wherever the future takes me, I'm going. It all depends on that. But yeah, I see a bright future for us musicians here in Saudi. Even though if it's DJs or vocalists or producers, or I see a very bright future thanks to this platform, thanks to Middle Beast and the people behind it.
And I hear you're performing soon, huh?
Yeah.
When are you performing?
I'm performing on the 10th of December. Yeah, with DJ Shaolin. He's a big hip hop DJ.
It's amazing.
I'm coming on to his set as a surprise guest at Beast in Jidda.
Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you so much.
It's amazing. Okay. Alf Mabruk.
Thank you.
And what's next for DJ Viva?
For me, performance, production, and I would say a lot of brand collaborations. In order to take my brand to another level as well.
You're also an aerial acrobat, right?
Yes. As well as, which I'm filming next week.
That goes perfectly with music as well.
It's the music and the dance, Music and dance go together.
That would be sick for visuals.
Dance, So I'm actually filming all of that stuff next week to begin the PR for that a bit. Aerial hoop, and even aerial silks, and all the other aerial arts as well. So brand fusions for me, brand collaborations, production, performance. My performance schedule is very hectic these days, but I love it, and I hope to get to that next level soon.
And who are the people that impacted you with Aziz, that kind of really moved you and impacted you, resonated in the sense where you felt like there's this bridge that is happening between the West and East, Because we say, okay, there's Western and Eastern, but there's also these artists that have kind of taken that path, cultural path. It might be a bit of a hard question, but it symbolizes what we are discussing today. Is there anyone that you can think of?
Well, yeah, there's a lot of, I get inspired with everything I listen to. Yeah, but a little bit this, a little bit that, with hip hop as well, R&B, Afro beats. I like to take each little thing from each little genre I take what inspires me most and put it in a track, put it in a sound. But yeah, I get inspired with a lot of little things in music, the small details of the sound. Let's say if we're talking about Afro beats, like Wizkid and how he made it as one of the biggest, Burna Boy as well, how they made their sound internationally well known. Wizkid is performing here tonight as well, Riyadh. Yeah, I'm looking forward for that as well. Yeah, but yeah, each little thing, each little inspiration, it helps me make my music what they are today. And yeah, like if you talk about my favorite artist, obviously it's Drake. Like I know people are gonna say, oh, I don't know what, but yeah, he's the GOAT. He's shown us on different occasions what he can do, what genres he can use. He's good at R&B, he's good at hip hop, rap, and recently dropped a dance album, which is great. Yeah, so basically.
And speaking of dance, you have kids at the age of 3 who start reacting to music, so it's amazing how music can actually affect any generation, once, as you mentioned, it comes from the heart and people feel it, it has quite a strong impact. So music can really be quite a profound tool to bring people together and to move people as well. Moving on to your question, any specific tune or any specific artist that kind of resonates, you feel is kind of a person who is bridging cultures or generations?
I would say more like bridging artistic styles, yeah? I love Rihab, and he's been like, from the beginning of my career, and watching his show for the first time here in, it was Jeddah, I believe, in Jeddah season. The artistic fusion that he has, the show that he does, it's not just music, it's like an experience. And I would say not even just a musical experience, it's like a psychological experience, because I remember that show the most out of any show I've watched so far. And it's just very impactful.
It's all about impact and feeling and emotion, like how music can really kind of change your mood, can make your day better, it can bring back great memories, and it really, we personally, for me, I cannot concentrate when I have music on because I feel completely moved by it. So when I'm working, I'm not one of those people who can have music on because I feel everything. It's like in a music, I'm like, okay. So,
for me, it's the opposite. I work better with, I do everything better with music, even aerial arts, My instructor, I have a private trainer, and one class, I couldn't do it. And I actually fell, twice. And then she put on the music, and that was it. I was floating in the air again. It was incredible. I was like, what's going on?
I take it very seriously, and I feel like, and it just takes me back. So every song is like, a nostalgic moment. William Shakespeare himself said that music is the food of love, so it's an essential tool, it's an essential element to have in our lives, So last question, I promise. What is authenticity to you, Aziz?
Well, authenticity is going by what you truly believe in, and you making your own sound and not someone telling you what to do and how to make your own music, you know what I mean? Me personally, like I said before in the beginning of this interview, I take little sounds of each part of the world, and even from the Middle East mainly, to make my own unique sound. I don't like to be marginalized in one subgenre or one genre. I like to make my own musical fusion. It can be like Afrobeats mixed with hip hop, mixed with R&B, mixed with our culture here as well, into one sound. That's what I'm trying to do, and I think I'm doing well at it till now, at least.
Doing an amazing job.
Thank you so much. Really appreciate it.
Really authentic, very different sound, and even your voice is in parallel with the music that you choose. So
thank you so much.
Hats off to you.
Thank you so much.
What is authentic to you?
For me, it's about expressing and being yourself, whether it's good or bad, good days or bad days, and allowing people to see, be vulnerable. Allow people to see who you truly are within your music, within your art, whatever it is that you're doing. And I feel that's one of the ways that people connect with you the best, when they see the real you. And especially in this day with social media, with everything happening, that's inauthentic. Like us as artists, we have that opportunity to be authentic through our creativity.
Absolutely, and tell your story, because in the end, it's your culture, your heritage, or your artistic identity that I think has to resonate. And it's the beauty of art, the beauty of music, or it's an opportunity for us to kind of express how we feel, and music is definitely
Well, I think music is the best form of authenticity.
Facts, that's true.
Couldn't agree more with you. But thank you so much for coming today. I appreciate you taking the time, and I hope we get to see you again soon. I can't wait to see both of you perform and hear your wonderful beats. Thank you for being part of Gems of Arabia. You are indeed gems, and it's a pleasure having you with us tonight.
It's a pleasure being here. Thank you so much for having us.
Thank you for the opportunity.
What a time to be alive here in Saudi, here in Riyadh. Us like musicians finally get the push and the platforms that we always wanted to have. I'm so proud to be here. I'm so proud to be Saudi. I'm so proud to be doing this as well.
I'm proud to be part of the evolution and just watching it go from 2018 to where it is now, here where we are. It's just incredible.
I'm so proud to see something, a talent that is thriving locally, and I also see tremendous international appeal as well.
The audience feels, they feel when it's real, when it's people are just trying to make it I truly believe it. If it comes from you as a person, it will go far.
It's a trial and error type of thing. And it depends on the mood, the atmosphere, and it's your job to create that atmosphere for people. But if you've got one thing in your mind and they want something else, you've got to read them. You have to react.
I think having that strong sense of identity is what will kind of differentiate us from anywhere else in the world.